dirt magicians, did you know that if you bury your potato plants, you actually get more potatoes? That's because when we bury the leaves, the potato plant is triggered to produce stolons, which are underground stems that potatoes grow off of. Burying potatoes is also great because it keeps them from turning green, which happens if they're left right on the surface, making them inedible. This vertical growth pattern makes potatoes a great candidate for growing in really unique containers, which leaves us with more space in our garden beds for other vegetables. Today, we are in Groville, where 4 gardeners have opened their homes to show us the very unique and different ways that they are growing potatoes in containers. When we first came here, we were blown away by the creativity of the different ways you can grow potatoes. So let's go check them out. The first method we want to show you is by Bern and Ashton, who are growing in tires. What? That's so cool. So the way that they've done this is they filled 1 tire half full with soil and compost. They then planted 2 seed potatoes in there, and then they buried them to fill the tire up with soil. Then once the plant had grown 4 to 6 inches tall, they added another tire on top and filled that with soil. And they did that until they were 3 tires full of soil, and from there, they will just let the potatoes grow. Then when it's harvest time, they'll just lay a tarp down, remove the tires, and go digging for potatoes. The second method of growing potatoes I wanted to show you is also by Bern and Ashton, and they use what are called hacksnick grow bags. Now these bags, it's important to note, have drainage holes at the bottom, which is why they're able to use them. So to start, they rolled down the sides of the bag and filled it with a couple of inches of soil and compost. They put in 1 potato, and then they buried it with another 2 inches. They let the potato grow to 4 to 6 inches tall above the soil. They rolled up the sides of the grow bag, adding more soil, and they did this until they'd filled the bag with soil and have allowed the potatoes to grow from there. Then when it comes harvest time, just like with the tires, they'll lay a tarp down, pull the plant out, and go digging in the soil. I just want to quickly talk about a second benefit to growing in containers, aside from just having more space in your garden, and that's that containers prevent a lot of pest issues. One really good example of this is wireworm, which is a little worm that lives in the soil, and it will actually dig through the potato and then eat it from the inside out. Whereas when you grow in a grow bag, you don't have to worry about this, as it has no way of getting into that mix. If you want to learn more about pest and disease management, then we have a mini course for you. In this course, we'll talk about how to identify and monitor for various garden pests, as well as natural and ecological control methods that do not involve spraying in the garden. So make sure to check the link in the description box below for more information on that mini course. The third method I want to show you is in Elle's yard, and it's using a trash can. Now, she's not growing potatoes in them this year, but she's loved it in the past, and I just think it's such a cool way to grow potatoes. So the way that she did this was by cutting the bottom of the trash can off, and then like the other houses, filling it with 2 to 3 inches of soil, adding 2 potatoes, and then burying. And then as the potato plant grows, filling the container up with soil until it's at the top. And when it was harvest time, she would lay a tarp down, actually lift the trash can completely off, allowing the soil to spill over, and then go digging for those potato golds. Another thing you could add to the garbage can is the like button if you're gaining value from this video. Also, if you like seeing how different gardeners do things, make sure to hit subscribe as we come into Groville once a month and show you the variety of ways you can grow in a garden. Now, the last method I want to show you is actually on my balcony. So I used a burlap sack, which I got from a coffee roaster. Pro tip, they often give them away for free, and you're using something and recycling it that otherwise would have gone to waste. So, like all of the other methods we've seen, I rolled it all the way down, filled it with a few inches of soil, added my potatoes. Once they're grown, I added more until I filled the burlap sack. Now what I love about this is I actually have been able to cut with an X-Acto knife little slits on the sides of the burlap sack, and I have other plants growing as well as my potatoes. One thing I do want to note about the burlap sack is it does disintegrate over time, so this is kind of a 1-year use. And then to harvest, like all the others, lay down a tarp, knock it over, and go and get all of those potatoes. If you want to learn about the whole method of growing potatoes, from the seed to the nutrients to soil and water, and see a different way of growing in a different kind of container, then we created a video all about that, so check it out.